Hey guys, it's your boy 14 Fluffies here. Got my pre-BOSH hero deck profile for you guys. So even though this is pre-BOSH, I've made a shit ton of changes to this deck. I'm loving it. Lots of interesting tech choices that you'll see, and it's really anti-pendulum hate. Even though there is a lot of Cosmo hate in there too, just because of how horrendous the matchup is. But it's not specifically made to hate on Cosmo, as you'll see. Okay, so starting off, 3 copies of Shadow Mist, of course the main core engine of the deck, engine starter, searches your mass changes, and searches your heroes. 2 copies of Neos Alias, still playing 2 copies of Neos Alias. The only time I would ever play less than 2 Neos Alias, it would be if Stratos came back, and that doesn't seem to be happening. Yeah, and not to mention, even if Stratos did come back, I would still be able to make changes to this deck accordingly to accommodate Stratos. 2 Blaze Man. Even if Stratos comes back, I will never drop Blaze Man, ever. He's that good. Although, if Stratos does come back, I will not be playing 2 copies of Bubble Man. I would actually bump Bubble Man up to 3. I would play 1 Stratos, 3 Bubble Man, pretty much. For the non-heroes, back to playing 2 copies of Summoner Monk. I dropped BLS for the second Monk just because I didn't see him enough in testing, really, and I kind of missed him. Not to mention, making Darklaw in this format is a very mandatory thing, so having the second Monk is very much so necessary. I never had problems with BLS being dead in hand. It's just that, aside from needing to see Monk earlier, I also really hate drawing Polymerization, but you kind of need to play it in order to maximize your value with Blaze Man, but that's just how it is. Like this, he just helps make bad hands better, basically. You can make any of your dead spells into a mass change plus Shadow Mist, basically. And then for the last monsters, 1 Goblinberg. For the spells, 3 copies of Emergency Call, still secret, still classy. 3 copies of Mass Change, it's the key card of the deck. 2 copies of Form Change, the most clutch card of the deck. Basically, anytime... my most favorite play is to always just end phase, Form Change it, my Nova Master into Acid, nuke their opponent's background, and then just go ham on them. And then just go ham. It's really... It's something that they never really see coming, because it's just like, this idiot made Nova Master, he doesn't know what he's doing. Little do they know, I actually do. 2 Fusion Recovery. This card will never go away. Unless I drop these for mass charges, I will always play them. Just because it makes Blaze Man just that much better of a card, because you can just top deck Fusion Recovery, get back Blaze Man, get back Poly, make plays. And, of course, the 2 Polys as the final spells I play multiple copies of. Now, for the one-of spells, 1 Mass Charge, 1 Miracle Fusion, Raigeki, and the 1 Rhoda. Rip Rhoda, by the way. Oh my god, I can't search Goblinberg. Oh well, I have 3 E-Call, so who cares. Okay, on to the traps. So this is where stuff actually changes. Okay, 3 copies of Call of the Haunted. Still no Oasis. I want an Oasis super badly. 3 Fiendish Chain, because BOSH isn't out yet, and Solemn Notice is a secret rare. Fuck! Now here's where the changes start. 2 copies of Time Space Trap Hole. Thank you, Shatner, for sending me your copy. I really do appreciate it. Too bad I don't have that copy of Fabled Pegasus here as evidence of such, but one is Shatner's, another one is one I got from TCG Player for fucking $15. Jesus Christ. And for the one-ofs, TT, Bottomless, and the 2 new cards, Vanities and Warning. Thank God I finally have these. And I love these cards. Vanities is hit or miss, really, but you need to play it. Warning is fucking godlike, because whenever your opponent Pendulum summons triple Apex Avion, niggas say no. So yeah, old niggas say no. Deal with it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to play Solemn Notice because, like I said, it is a secret rare, and currently they're sitting like $50 a pop, and I'm just like, fuck that. Yeah, same thing with Cyber Dragon Infinity, but, that's just how it is. Okay, extra deck. There have been some changes here as well. Only 1, though. Not as big as the changes to the extra deck. 1 Contrast Hero. I am contemplating dropping him, but it will probably be from like a second Nova Master or like a Vision Hero Adoration. You know, something a little. Either way, I'm dropping him for another fusion. I'm not dropping him for an XC or anything, unless it's something I really, really need, like Utopia the Lightning or something for my ultra rare Utopia. But oh well. But the one thing I realized that is actually making me still play him is that he can not only negate monster effects, like he's also, you know, he is the breakthrough skill meets legendary Six Samurai Shien, but he can also negate pendulum effects, which is broke as fuck, may I say. So, like, if your opponent has, like, Dragon Pit or Dragon Pulse, 2 cards that are absolute pains in the ass, it's just like, okay, Chain Contrast Hero. Well, chances are, if you're playing against Pendulum Magicians, you'll probably never get to actually make them, because chances are you'll probably win. You'll probably win almost immediately, or lose almost immediately against that deck. 1 Anki. 1 Nova Master, still fucking godlike. I love Nova Master so much. I want to play 2 of him. That's how much I love him. 1 Shining, finally got him in a new sleeve. That's the sleeve I got from Shatner. 1 Acid, highly contemplate bumping him up to 2. Still don't have the money though, or the room really. I mean, unless I drop Contrast for a second Acid, but that's a thing. 1 Ab-Zero, hardly ever make him except for the occasions I run into Necros. Actually, I have ran into some Necros, and like I just made him and just kept attacking over Valk and just won. So yeah, like he's just as good as Darklaw against Necros, ironically. 1 Koga because he's fucking godlike against Cosmo. Although if Stratos does come back, he's getting dropped for Divine Wind, as good as he is. Same thing with Shining. I mean, another thing about Shine 2 is that since I dropped BLS, he's not nearly as good now. I mean, you pretty much have to make him with Miracle Fusion, or you need to have a Koga. You need to have had a Koga on the field for a long time. Otherwise, like, Shiny's just not that good without BLS, which is kind of like my one problem with dropping BLS, other than the fact that, well, BLS is kind of a sack top deck sometimes. But yeah, I miss BLS a little, but I had to make room for that second Monk, and he was the only card I could drop. But yeah, so Shining is sad. Shining is very sad. Oh well. If I have to drop him, I definitely won't miss Shining if I drop him, though, that's for sure. And the last 2 fusions, of course, are the 2 Darklaw. And, of course, Darklaw is the major win condition of this deck. Because, as a lot of noobs on DN don't know, he banishes pendulums. Yeah, and they're not always, you know, they don't take too kindly to me explaining that to them sometimes, but that's just DN, though. And that wraps up the fusions at 9. For the Exceeds, there are some changes that I have made, but there will probably be a lot more post-Bosch. Probably not going to play Infinity just because of how outrageously expensive it is. Not just the card itself, but Infinity plus Nova plus Ptolemaeus, you know, that's almost like $160 right there. Between just those 3 cards, and I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. Okay, so first off, for the first Exceed, Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon, or as I like to call him, just Cowboy for 2,500. The edition, which is actually fucking incredible in testing. 1 copy of 103 Ragna Zero. Oh my god, I love this card. Anytime you make Acid, it's fucking winning. Acid plus Ragna Zero is cute. Ragna Zero plus Koga is real. You have no idea. Like, the second you commit anything to the board, okay, Koga effect, target, okay, then Ragna Zero, pop, draw, win. Excalibur, he's really good for OTKs. Unfortunately, without BLS, he's not quite as good. I mean, BLS just made the OTK so real. I may have to actually put him back eventually, but don't have room for him, unfortunately. 1 Castell, staple, never drop him. Especially for Cosmo, it's the only way to get rid of Cosmo Town without triggering it. Unless I play, like, Magic Drain, and I actually do have a copy of Magic Drain. I have no idea where it went, though. Oh well. 1 Abyss Dweller for the occasions you don't make Darklaw, and 1 copy of what should be your Trap Chick Trafelsia. But yeah, it's not Bosch yet, so this is Rhapsody. I'm definitely going to be dropping for Trap Chick Trafelsia, mainly just because decks. There aren't very many decks now that are meta that revolve around using the graveyard as a resource. I mean, Pendulum Magicians do it a little bit, but that's mostly when they're Pendulum summoning Oath Dragon Magician, and really, they don't really care if their pendulums get banished from their graveyard. Really, the only time they ever end up in the graveyard is when they just pitch it for Dragon Pit or Dragon Pulse, normally Dragon Pit, you know. They never really have those pendulums in the graveyard to banish with Rhapsody, so so he has almost no utility to me anymore. Although he could make Dark Rebellion fucking gigantic if I actually do it, but oh well, he's too conditional, really. And that's it for the extra deck. I mean, yeah, if I could make room for Infinity, I could definitely play him. Although, in testing, I have actually tested Infinity. My deck cannot make him very consistently. I almost never Xyz. For Xyz monsters that use 3 materials, oh well. I mean, there are times where I can, but, you know, it's just like, it's not as good as a turn 1 Infinity plus Darklaw, really, that game-breaking field. But I can't make excuse me, oh my god. I can't make Infinity turn 1 very consistently. I mean, I can make Darklaw Raffleseeda turn 1 very consistently. I mean, even though I only play 2 Bubble Man, it's not that hard. Because you're just like, okay, summon a Bubble Man spell. Okay. Good luck ever doing anything. Okay, but that's just enough of that. Enough of that talk. Let's go on to the side deck. Yeah, there are plenty of changes here. 3 MST. These probably need to go back into the main deck, not only for Pendulums, but for goddamn Monarchs. Oh my god, that matchup is so fucking horrible. Basically, it's just like they make any field with like Dominion, March, and a big-ass Monarch, you have to auto-scoop, just because no extra deck, no targeting, no destroying with card effects, and you're just going to get beaten down by 28 beat sticks every turn. What the fuck, Konami? 2 Kaiser Coliseum, utterly godlike. The only problem is I never see it enough. 3 Mind Crush. 1 card that's actually good against Monarchs. Oh my god. But yeah, like, this card is legitimately good against Monarchs, which is why I'm even bothering citing it still. I mean, against Pepe, it's hit or miss. Against Cosmo, it's very much so hit or miss. I mean, against Rogue matchups, though, it's incredible. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you ever run into Necros, like, the one time I ran into Necros on DN, like, this Mind Crush was the only card I cited in. Because I didn't need anything else. But yeah, 2 Memory Loss. This card's great against, obviously, Magispector and Cosmo, but it's also good against Monarchs as well. It also serves as, you know, 2 extra copies of Fiendish Chain, as well as actually being able to stop Monarchs under March, because it doesn't target. And next up, for the side decks, a new edition. 3 copies of Imperial Ironwall, because fuck you, Cosmo. No, not. I don't mean fuck you, Cosmo, but I just got tired of losing to them, really. So it's just like 3 Ironwall. Okay, just side up Miracle Fusion, Bottomless, and then whatever, and then just open this and win every time. So yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, it makes Darklaw sad. It makes Bottomless sad. It makes Miracle Fusion, and back when I played BLS, sad. I mean, like, I hate siding up Miracle Fusion, but you need this card. I mean, not to mention it's also really good against Monarchs because, you know, no original Monarch stall? I like that. No Panditi searches? I like that. No Aether plays during my turn? I like that. You know, none of that bullshit. So, yeah. I mean, I might need to get Mask of Restrict. I mean, I probably will ditch the memory losses for that. And for the last 2 cards, 2 copies of Rivalry of Warlords just because I couldn't find a 3rd copy of my cards. Fuck. Yeah, I really wish I had the 3rd for the playset, but, you know, it is what it is. Realistically, if I do get Mask of Restrict, I'll probably take out the Rivalries and the memory losses for the Mask of Restricts and a Twister, just because, you know, more Spell and Trap hate, and more Pendulum hate, really, because you need lots of Spell and Trap hate against Monarchs if you don't have Mask of Restrict. Just because if they get March, or if they get Dominion, you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Against them with heroes, just because no extra deck equals no winning. I can't believe I'm saying equals a lot, I apologize, but yeah. It is. That's the deck profile. I mean, as far as like my major matchups, like this format so far has just been full of good matchups. The only problem is, you know, Apex Avion, and future Cyber Dragon Infinity, Salt of Notice, lots of cards that say you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically. I do run into a lot of rogue matchups. Like, anytime you run into hero mirror matches is a problem. Like, there are a lot of meta decks, but there are almost just as many anti-meta decks out there, which is I like. I mean, it's good to see meta get hit. It's good to see that there are people who hate meta enough to actually play anti-meta. I mean, not like pure anti-meta with like triple Fossil Dyna, none of that annoying shit, but like real anti-meta decks like Evil Swarm. Well, actually not Evil Swarm. Fuck Evil Swarm players. I'm sorry. Just like, I hate Evil Swarm. I mean, I like the deck, I just don't like running into it. But yeah, but that's the deck profile. Sorry for all the rambling. I mean, I'm a little bit talkative right now, but that's just how it is. either way, I'm going to be taking this to regionals. This is the deck I'm taking. As it is right now, I mean, when I get back from the regional, I'll be doing an updated deck profile. If I change it at all, more than likely it'll probably change because I will be doing some trading there, yada yada. Probably will not be getting Cyber Dragon Infinity just because, I need 3 extra deck spaces, and, this extra deck is rather tight. But that's it for the deck profile. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.